What's up guys, Mindshock back again with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about the Grand Priest versus Darkseid. So let's get started. We're going to be talking about their feats, from weakest to strongest. Some of them are unknown yet, like the Grand Priest we don't really know his full power yet, but we'll be using whatever feats he has. We'll use other characters to scale his strength, and we're going to be starting with the Grand Priest. So the Grand Priest is the father of all the angels. He's the strongest angel. He's pretty much Zeno's angel. Whis has stated that the Grand Priest is so powerful that he does not even come close to him, to his feet. That's what he said. So going by that, we know that Whis is pretty much a 4D being. He's an angel. He can take out Beerus with one blow, which is crazy. The reason we know Whis is a 4D being is because he can manipulate time. I'm not saying he's infinite 4D, but he does have 4D abilities. He's immortal. He's pretty much 4D, but he's not infinite 4D. There's also beyond 4D, but we'll get to that if they're strong enough to get to that. So one of the Grand Priest's abilities that we've actually seen, he can create. I think he can create almost anything. He created a metal or a material that's the strongest material in the universe. It's stronger than Kachin, which was in Dragon Ball Z, which that was the one that the old Supreme Kai created. But the one he creates is on a whole nother level. When gods fight, it is able to be destroyed with like Beerus and the other gods fight, but they have to use insane power to destroy that type of material. So it's pretty much a godly material. That pales in comparison to his other feats, which was he was able to create an entire infinite universe in the palm of his hand. I think it's an infinite 3D universe, and he can just create it in the palm of his hand, which is insane. Another of the Grand Priest's feats, he was able to stop two full power gods of destruction from going at it. Pretty much, I think they're the two strongest ones, Beerus and the Mouse. They were about even, and he was able to stop them with a finger instantly. So it shows, and that's why I'm saying he's easy 4D. Whis was 4D, and he's way above Whis. We don't know if the Grand Priest is infinite 4D. I don't know if he's 5D. I'm not gonna scale him to 5D until they show more feats. But let's say the Grand Priest he's easy 4D. I'm not sure if he's infinite 4D yet. So the Grand Priest can also travel through space or warp. He can open like a rift in the dimension and warp. So that's another feat that proves he's easy 4D. And he's also super intelligent. He pretty much knows almost everything that's going on. Now let's talk about Darkseid's abilities and feats, and then we'll put them up against each other and see who could be the winner. So Darkseid is from the planet or the dimension called Apocalypse, which is the fourth dimension. So we know he's a 4D being right off the bat. He didn't become a new god until he took the powers from the Omega effect. He pretty much killed his own brother because his brother was supposed to take the power, but he took it instead. With the power of the Omega effect, Darkseid is able to use these beams called the Omega beams. They can pretty much erase you from existence like Hakai, like Beerus, or he can restore you back too. Like if he destroys you, he can bring you back to life with a thought. Another effect of his Omega abilities is that he can put you, it's like a dream state. It's not really a dream state. I think you really live through it. You pretty much die, and then every time you die again, it's worse and worse than the last time. Pretty much you're like in an infinite loop where you keep dying. It's pretty much hell. You keep dying, and then pretty much let's say you get hit by a car the first time, the next time you get hit by a plane. It's not, well, sometimes you go through like even worse things like torture, like I don't know, let's say you get eaten by a monster. It's crazy. You go through your worst nightmares over and over and just keep dying and coming back and dying. Darkseid also found out a power even probably greater than the Omega effect, which is called the anti-life equation. He discovered that there was an anti-life equation because he found out that there was a life equation through these green Martians. They said that their will was the life equation. So he believed that if there's a life equation, there has to be an anti-life equation. Darkseid does finally get a hold of the full anti-life equation. First, he gets fragments of it. Eventually, he gets the whole thing. And what the anti-life equation is, he can pretty much control everything or everybody, and he can control their minds. And when he controls your mind, you surrender to Darkseid, and you obey everything he says, and you also believe that life is pointless. Darkseid does have a weakness, and he's not infinitely powerful either. We've seen Superman put him in the source wall. We've seen him get damaged by Batman, and his weakness is called Radion. It's like an element, like it's not like kryptonite, but it's pretty much the new god's weaknesses, and what it does is it can damage them and take their powers. Well, it doesn't reduce their power like kryptonite, but it does damage them. But you can't just like put him near him. You have to actually, like Batman had to shoot him with the Radion bullet to damage him. You can't just like throw it at him. You have to actually use a lot of force to like pierce him or something with the Radion. Alright, so now let's move on to the fight. So we really don't know the Grand Priest's weaknesses. We do know that he's 4D, maybe infinite 4D. We have no feats on him being 5D. That's probably Zeno. Zeno could be 5D. But what we do know is that he can easily overpower Darkseid through sheer power. But as we know, Darkseid has like the Omega beams and all that. Can the Grand Priest survive the Omega beams? Well, if we think about it, Superman has survived the Omega beams. So the Grand Priest, I'm sure, can survive the Omega beams. I don't think he'll have trouble with them at all. So let's move on to the next ability. Will the Grand Priest be controlled by the anti-life equation? We've seen Superman resist the anti-life equation. We've also seen the Flash resist the anti-life equation. He used the Speed Force to cancel the anti-life equation out. The Grand Priest, if Whis can manipulate time, I'm sure the Grand Priest is on another level of time manipulation. I think he can survive it. I don't think the anti-life equation will be able to affect the Grand Priest. He seems like he's beyond any mind control. He's just, I don't know, he seems too powerful. Darkseid has been damaged. He's been sent through the source wall, and when he was in the source wall, he lost his powers. They had to send like a Superman robot or something to go get him out of there. Keep in mind that Darkseid has avatars. The avatars are infinite 3D. They can exist in the third dimension. He used the boom tube to send them to the third dimension. In the fourth dimension, his real body exists, like the real Darkseid. And we're putting up the real Darkseid, the 4D version, not his avatars. We're putting him up against the Grand Priest. And from what I've seen, I think the Grand Priest is too powerful. The Grand Priest is, we don't know if he's infinite 4D, but he's really up there in 4D. The Darkseid his abilities have been stopped. Well, maybe Superman is also 4D, that's why. In conclusion, guys, both of them are 4D beings, but the Grand Priest right now, I think he scales on a higher tier of 4D than Darkseid. I don't think any mind control will work. I don't think the Grand Priest even works on like life equations or anti-life. He creates life. He's beyond the destroyers, which destroy life. I think the Grand Priest is just way too powerful for Darkseid. But anyways, guys, that's all the time I got for this video. Comment down below. Tell me who you think is going to win, Darkseid or the Grand Priest, and tell me why. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm going to be uploading more versus battles like these, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next one.